Hey yo, what's decent? Yo, I have a battle against the big man on campus right now. This guy happened to recently beat Shofu, so he challenged me to a match and I obliged immediately. So now, he's going to lead out with his Jolteon, I'm going to lead out with my Smeargle. I knew that he was going to want to go for the Volt Switch because I figured that he would want to do that to break my sash, bring in something to act as Sleep Fighter, and then again bring in a Jolteon in order to put pressure on my Smeargle. So I switched right into my Electivire to get a +1 speed boost. He switches out to Heatran thinking that I was going to go for the Earthquake, but I do have the Crush Chop, but it happens to miss on the Heatran switching, and he switches into Suicune. Now, I thought that the Suicune was just to bait me into Jolteon, but then again, when I was reviewing this video, it didn't necessarily make sense for me to go for the Ice Punch because I was faster than Jolteon anyway. I could just went for the Wild Charge, but now I have no choice but now to go for the Wild Charge, especially kind of knowing that he was going to obviously switch into his Jolteon, but I can't risk it. I'd rather not play around with a threat like Suicune, and I happen to miss my secondary Crush Chop, and he retaliates back with the Shadow Ball and kills off my Electivire before he gets a chance to do anything. Now I'm going to switch into my Hariyama, get a nice little knockoff on the Fortress, which means that he won't be recovering anytime soon, which also means that he won't be able to ever again, for the remainder of this battle, activate his Sturdy ability. So now he's going to set up Rocks, and I'm going to take advantage of that and go into my Smeargle. Now keep in mind that while I'm commentating this video, my Smeargle currently does have Dark Void, so this battle took place before I changed it. I think this is like the last battle, or second to last battle, where I do carry the Lovely Kiss. It doesn't necessarily make sense when I do have access to Dark Void. So now he's going to switch into his Suicune, which kind of scares me because I don't have my immediate threat being that big monster Electivire that I had in the back waiting for this clown to come in. So now he especially shows me that he's a Calm Mind variant. I'm going to go for the knockoff. I'm not exactly sure what item the Suicune is holding. I have to guess that he's Chestoberry just because I'm seeing the support move being the Calm Mind, and at the same time I'm not seeing any leftovers recovery, and he goes to sleep, and also he shows me that he's Chestoberry. So that was actually a great play that prevented me from knocking off the Chestoberry, and at the same time any additional damage that knockoff would have been able to inflict on the Suicune is now nullified because he no longer has an item. And also I have a little amount of Crush Chops, so I gotta be careful, man. I mean, I'm doodling down 2 Crush Chops every time I attack this dude, and at the same time I could freaking miss, you know, like, so Hariyama is like in a bind right here. Even though it looks pretty good here, I have 2 Crush Chops left. I have to save that for a little bit later on, so I'm gonna switch into my Tornadus Therian form and then go for the Hurricane. Now I have to rely on a 70% accurate move, and I get the confusion, so there might be a little bit of light of hope right here, because other than that, I'm gonna have to switch into my Smeargle, probably try to go for the Transform, hope that he has the Roar or something like that and phase his ass out, because there's no way that I can like deal with this thing otherwise. He wakes up, hits himself in confusion, and I'm not gonna risk it anymore. I'm just gonna go for the superpower 100% accurate move and knock it out completely. So that was great, man. Oh my lord, that was a heart attack avoided. So now it comes to Fortress. I guess he felt that he could live a Hurricane, kind of forgetting that Tornadus also has access to Heat Wave. So now he's gonna go into a Jolteon, which is actually what he should have done to begin with, because I do have other threats like Hariyama. So he could actually use Hariyama in a sense, because my Hariyama is Assault Vest, so that's actually why I was able to take the Thunderbolt. And thankfully, because I'm Assault Vest, I'm able to gauge that he is Choice Specs. But he could actually use Hariyama as a go-between to get our sleep turns off of his Fortress in order to wake up and then go for the Rapid Spin. But now, in comes my Smeargle. I'm just going to copy the Jolteon, and it confirms in my mind, after he switches out into Heatran, that he is definitely a Choice Specs variant. So now, he's going to switch into Heatran now, go for the Lava Plume. He outspeeds me, which I have to kind of guess that maybe he is, in a sense, Choice or some shape or form. And I apologize for going ahead of turns before the turn actually was showcased in this particular video, but I have to guess that he is Choice, because normally when I transform into something, I normally Speed type, and if I have Sticky Web, I always outspeed. So it kind of like put me in a little disarray. It's like, is he like Lava Plume to kind of disorient me from thinking that he is a Choice Scarf variant? But anyway, that's all neither here or there, because now I'm going to switch in my Latios, which I guess the Flame Orb kind of disoriented his way of thinking, in a sense that he wouldn't think that I had the Surf, and or the Draco Meteor. I'm like completely offensive with the Cycle Shift, so the idea behind having that is to play off as if I'm a defensive variant, but I'm not. I'm completely timid with 252 in HP, I'm sorry, 252 in special attack and 252 in speed. So now he's gonna go for his Lucario. Now I'm gonna Cycle Shift my burn that I initially burned on myself with my Flame Orb onto the Lucario, which is great because he happens to be a physical variant. So now, as long as Latios is in play, I'm just going to keep chipping away at his HP. He's also going to be chipped away from the 13% that he's going to be taking periodically with the burn, and at the same time with my damage output. But And also the life orb that I'm just seeing right now. So it looks like he has just one more attack, which is great. I mean, he could just now go for, I guess, maybe a Shadow Claw or something like that on my Aegis Slash. But I'm just going to go for the K-Shield because he has nothing at this point. I mean, even if we went for like another +2, I would have easily just went for a Shadow Sneak like I do right now, because the burn allows me to get off the damage that I need to kill this thing with the Shadow Sneak. So now in comes Jolteon. Jolteon is his last Pokemon here, and I do have Smeargle as well as Tornadus here left over. Now he actually thought that Tornadus was normal and flying, which is completely understandable because you have a whole bunch of Pokemon that are like normal and flying, which are like Pidgeot, Noctowl, Staraptor, and so on and so forth. So he thought the most optimal play was to go for that, but the most optimal play was Shadow Ball, because Tornadus can't inflict too much damage onto the Jolteon, and at the same time it completely one-shots Aegis Slash. I'm gonna have to transform into the Jolteon in order to knock it out, which means turn into Electric type, making me vulnerable to a Shadow Ball. So that was a great play, great game. I definitely had a lot of fun. Peace. What you doing?